Hey friends, welcome to this week's Children's Bible Story Time. Today I have two stories to share with you. One is about a man named Samuel, and one is about a man named David. And both of our stories today are going to come from our Little Bible Heroes storybook. So let's get started by reading all about Samuel. Have you heard of Samuel before? Maybe not, maybe so. Either way, we're going to learn about him together. So this story is written by Victoria Kovacs and illustrated by Mike Crome. And it's going to be all about Samuel. And so this is what Samuel is going to look like in our story. Hannah prays for a baby. God answers her prayers and gives her a baby boy named Samuel. When Samuel is old enough, he goes to live in God's temple. So there is Hannah and her baby, and that's Samuel. That's Hannah. Samuel helps the high priest Eli. Samuel wears a special linen vest that the priests wear. He is a good boy, and he works hard. So there's Samuel working in the temple. One night, when Samuel is sleeping, he hears someone call his name. Samuel runs to Eli. "Here I am, you called me," Samuel says. Eli yawns and shakes his head. "No, I didn't call you. Go back to bed." So look, there is Samuel, and he's woken up, and someone's calling his name. Samuel hears someone call his name again. He runs to Eli, but the priest sends him back to bed. Then Samuel hears someone call him a third time, so he runs and wakes up Eli one more time. So there's Samuel. He's heard people calling his name. And this is Eli. He said, "I didn't call you. Go back to bed." "Here I am. You called me," Samuel says. Eli knows that God is calling Samuel. He tells Samuel, "If you are called again, say, 'Speak, Lord, your servant is listening.'" So there's Samuel. God calls Samuel again. "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening," said Samuel. God answers. This time, Samuel listens and hears an important message from God. So Samuel woke up again, and this time he realizes it's God calling him. When he grows up, Samuel becomes a great prophet and leader, and he still listens to God. So there's Samuel. You can tell he's gotten a little bit older, hasn't he? And that's the end of our story about Samuel. Next today, we're going to read about David. Now, I know you've heard about David. What's he really famous for? You remember? David and Goliath, right? So let's read and see what else we can learn about David. This story was also written by Victoria Kovacs and illustrated by Mike Crome. And there's what David looks like in our story. David is a little shepherd boy. He guards his father's sheep. So there is David with all his little sheep. When a lion tries to take a lamb, David protects his sheep. He is very brave. So look, there's the lion that tried to take one of David's sheep, and he didn't let him. David takes food to his brothers who are soldiers in Israel's army. The other army has a soldier named Goliath, who is big and mean. Goliath challenges Israel's army to send out a soldier to fight him, but they are too afraid. Look, there's Goliath. Does he look scary? Maybe at least a little bit, right? David is not afraid. He tells the king, God rescued me from a lion and a bear. He will rescue me from this giant. So there's David talking to the king. He said, I'm not afraid. Look, there's one of his sheep. Can you see? Right there. David finds 5 smooth stones. He takes his slingshot and bravely faces Goliath. You're coming at me with a sword and a spear, but I'm coming at you in the name of God, says David. Look, there's his little slingshot, and he's got a rock or a stone in it. And you can just see Goliath's feet. David slings a stone toward Goliath. Swoosh! The stone flies through the air and hits Goliath in the forehead. He falls to the ground. God has helped David defeat Goliath. Look, so there's Goliath, and he's fallen to the ground because God helped David win. David, the brave shepherd boy, grows up to be David, the king of Israel. So look, there's David, and he used to be a shepherd, now he's king. And that's the end of our story about David. Did you learn something new today? I hope so. Well, like always, I can't wait to be back with you again. But until then, until we can all be together and see each other again, I'm so excited that we have our children's Bible story time each week. So join me next week. I'm so excited and I can't wait. Bye, friends.